This is a fictional science fiction series created only for entertainment. Nothing in this story is real. Darkness hums with a deep, unsettling static. A sudden, blinding pulse of white light cracks through the void. The symbol of the signal flickers, almost as if it's alive, breathing. A whisper, barely audible, fades in, weaving through the noise. What you're about to witness changes everything. Welcome back to The Signal. This is Episode 8, The New Energy. For days, an almost deafening quiet had settled over the desert, but it was a deceptive silence. Beneath it, the team felt a vibration, a low, persistent hum that returned every night, each time growing stronger, more insistent. It wasn't a transmission picked up by their receivers. This was different. This was coming from the very ground itself, a deep thrumming that resonated in their bones. Alphonse stumbled into the bunker, his face pale, the usual tension in his voice sharpened to a fine point. He dropped a datapad onto the central table, the clatter echoing in the confined space. The signal. It isn't just broadcasting anymore, it's doing something else. It's generating something. A new kind of power. He ran a hand through his hair, his eyes wide. The readings are off the charts, unlike anything we've ever seen. The team gathered around, their faces a mixture of fear and fascination. The newcomer, who had been sitting silently in the corner, looked up. His eyes held a faint, otherworldly glow in the dim light of the bunker. "It is not power," he whispered, his voice a low rustle, like sand shifting in the wind. "It is a doorway." A chill ran through the room. Everyone froze. The air suddenly felt heavier, charged, like it was watching them, waiting for their next move. That single word, doorway, hung between them, filled with terrifying and exhilarating possibilities. A doorway to where? Or to what? The silence stretched, thick with unspoken questions. The hum from outside seemed to grow louder, as if in response. That night, it happened. A spiral of lights bloomed in the star-dusted sky above them. They weren't stars, not meteors. These were intricate geometric patterns, impossibly perfect, twisting and turning with a silent mathematical grace. The desert floor began to heat up beneath their feet, a strange warmth spreading through the soles of their boots. The team, drawn by an irresistible pull, rushed outside. The sight that greeted them stole their breath. The ground was alive, pulsing with an ethereal blue light that spread outward from a central point, forming a network of glowing veins across the sand. It was beautiful and terrifying all at once. As they cautiously approached the center of this impossible phenomenon, a brilliant beam of energy exploded upward, a pillar of pure light cutting a perfect circle through the dense clouds above. And then, time twisted. The world warped around them. Their breaths stretched into impossibly long moments. Sounds became distorted, warped into unrecognizable echoes. It was as if reality itself was being rewritten, and they were caught in the middle of the edit. Each of them was plunged into a cascade of visions, futures branching out in every direction. A million different timelines unfolding before their eyes simultaneously. Mia gasped, her vision filled with a world reborn, a planet teeming with life, powered by this new, clean energy. She saw cities of light, thriving ecosystems, and humanity reaching for the stars, united. It was a future of hope, a paradise born from the desert. But Alphonse saw something else entirely. His vision was a nightmare. He saw a fractured sky, torn apart by unseen forces. He saw colossal, terrifying machines rising from the dust, their metallic forms blotting out the sun and leading them. He saw a version of himself, a colder, harder version, his eyes burning with a dark ambition. He tried to tear his gaze away, to break free from the horrifying image, but the vision held him fast. A cold hand clenching around his mind, forcing him to watch. A voice, ancient and powerful, spoke to them all, not through their ears, but directly into their minds. It echoed from somewhere beyond the light, beyond time itself. "You have survived what others could not. Now you must decide what you will become." Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the light snapped off. The beam vanished, vision shattered. An absolute profound silence fell over the desert, so complete it was a sound in itself. The only thing that remained was the faint blue glow beneath the sand, a gentle fading pulse. The newcomer, seemingly unaffected, knelt beside the warm ground, his fingers tracing the glowing patterns in the sand. "It has begun," he said softly, his voice filled with a strange reverence. "The world is shifting." The team stood there, dazed, trying to process what they had just witnessed. Their minds reeled, struggling to separate the visions from reality. But as their senses slowly returned to normal, a new, cold dread began to creep in. They realized someone was missing. A single set of footprints led away from the epicenter of the spiral and then just stopped. They vanished into the open sand as if the person who made them had been erased from existence. Just then, the sky, which had been clear moments before, darkened instantly. Clouds swirled into place with unnatural speed, and the signal pulsed again. But this time it was different. Sharper, faster, almost urgent, demanding. Mia's voice was a terrified whisper in the sudden dark. "It's calling us back." But then another voice cut through the darkness. Came from behind them, trembling but clear, filled with a chilling certainty. "I saw the future, and none of you are ready." Thank you for watching this episode of The Signal, if you're as hooked as we are. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. The shift has begun, and the story is just getting started. We'll see you next time.